I remember my mom and dad used to say this: an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And they were both right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money More Jan channel. How you doing today? I want to talk to you today about future money mistakes that I believe we could totally avoid making. Okay, so we could just stop it in its tracks and not let it happen and not live with regret a few years down the road. And especially if we're younger, we have the advantage of time on our side. That is an amazing thing to have, time on our side. And would it be a show without the bird clock going off? No. That's the 6 a.m. Eastern time, recorded a week prior on the prior Thursday. There you go. Good morning, Birdie. So let's talk about some future money mistakes that we could totally and completely avoid. Number one, it's not in any order of importance, okay, just for the record, but it's part of this list. Number one, not having an emergency fund. People sometimes don't think of emergency fund until when? When an emergency happens. Then they're like, oh, okay, do we have an emergency fund? They're like very happenstance about it, like, huh? And then they find out, oh no, we don't have an emergency fund. This is not good. Right. So we could completely avoid a problem down the road by making sure we start an emergency fund and just be consistent about it, make it a name it and claim it, put your money away. Slow and steady wins the race is a lot better than not really doing it at all. No plan. No, 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 not good. Have an emergency fund. You will appreciate it down the road. You really will. Next, not creating a budget. Now, some people are so good at what they do that they effectively kind of sort of don't need a budget. And for them, I say congratulations and kudos. But for a lot of people do actually need to create a budget. It's like a roadmap. You're tracking your expenses. You know where things are going. You're giving your money little jobs, little assignments. It's not like being that forever thing that I talk about, like that balloon that drifts from place to place with no clear direction. That is not the way you want your money to go, like a balloon drifting from place to place. A lot of people don't know where their money is going. That's really sad and that's really scary and could be a huge, huge problem down the pike. So, this is another future money mistake that we could completely avoid by having created a budget, by knowing where our money is going, by setting standards that we stick to. Next, having zero or no retirement savings or even plan. That could be a problem. You're young and the time goes fast. I know, I know. When you're young, you think, when you're in your 20s, you're thinking 60 sounds like I don't know, like another era, another lifetime. And it really is in it to a degree it is, but I hate to say this to you, but the years go by very quickly. And I noticed the years were flying by after my 30s and 40s. For some reason or another, in my case, that's how it felt. But the time indeed still goes by. We can't stop the time from coming. We can't push a wave back in the water. Time is going to go by, and unfortunately, it goes by a lot faster than we anticipate. So, having no retirement savings or plans for them, it's not a good idea. This is absolutely a future money mistake worth avoiding. So, plan for your retirement. Next, ignoring insurance needs. Okay, let's talk specifically about life insurance. Okay, some people don't need to do it, they have what they need for final expenses. That's a different situation, but many people do not have what they need for final expenses. And it is a great idea to not ignore insurance needs. It is hard to face our own mortality. I grant you that. No one wants to face their own mortality. And when you're dealing with life insurance, you are actually acknowledging, hey, I'm not here forever. Even though, like, we kind of sort of know we're not here forever, it is an uncomfortable topic. Let's be honest. It really could be and make for an uncomfortable topic. But if we're caring enough about our loved ones, we don't want our loved ones responsible for our final expenses. So the right thing to do is to be prepared and take that time and look around and find out what works best for you. Just don't skip over it like, oh well, nothing will ever happen to me. I wish it was that way. It doesn't work that way. So ignoring insurance needs, that's just an example. Ignoring insurance needs could be a tough thing to do, and we could avoid that mistake as well. Next, overtly using our what do you think I'm going to say? Overtly using our credit cards, overuse of our credit cards, and getting into unneeded, unwarranted credit card debt. Well, here's where it happens with a lot of people. The ones that have no emergency fund use their credit card as their emergency fund. Let's rewind this again. The ones that have no emergency fund use their credit card as their emergency fund. Only one problem with that. It may plug up the hole for a moment to make a quick payment. Okay, well, I got my credit card, I'll plug up the hole. But what do you have to back it up to pay off your card? What do you have to back it up? You have no monies to back it up, no emergency funding. That's a problem. That's a big problem because you're paying monies for stuff you don't have, and it can really get out of hand. So once again, avoidance, being prepared, doing little things to get ready for bigger things. It's so much easier, in my opinion, in life to do little things that can prepare to avoid or make it a little less horrible for future situations that could be very difficult, to say the least. It's so much easier to take baby bites, but consistent baby bites in preparation. Again, overly using credit cards and getting into credit card debt could be a big problem. All right. Next, I'm going to put this in the same category because they're kind of really mindless spending. Mindless. We don't realize how many times we make silly purchases throughout the day. We don't think about it. We are not mindful. We go to a convenience store to buy bottled water when we could have bought like a 24 pack that was on sale. Keep it at home, keep it in the fridge, and take it with us. Buying those outside bottles of water like that randomly at convenience stores can be practically double the price. Okay, so that's an example of mindless spending. Or buying snacks after school every single day. You could easily pack a snack for yourself or for your kids or whatever, pack it and not have to go back to that same convenience store and spend more money. I know on occasion that might happen, and that's the way life works. But as an everyday thing, in my honest, I would call that mindless spending. Don't have to do that. That's money that's being spent, extra money that doesn't have to be spent for such purposes. Find ways to get around it. You still get the snack, but at half the cost? Honestly, let's think about that for a second. Next, purchasing a brand new automobile, a brand new car that you can't afford. A lot of people just fall in love with that bright, shiny penny. Whether that bright, shiny penny comes with a car that they cannot afford, a house they shouldn't have, too much house and not enough money, living a life that's not authentically theirs because they literally cannot afford it. That is not a great way to live, in my opinion. That's a future disaster. Avoid that kind of thing by not doing things like that. And then taking out loans for the cars, 72 months, 96 months. Are you kidding me? Whoa. That's a huge, huge thing to burden upon yourself, especially when you don't have it. Avoid all those things. I rather keep a workable secondhand car at a fraction of the cost that I outrightly paid for, mine already, not worried about 72 months of future payments. What a thing to straddle oneself down with. People don't realize it. They fall in love with that shiny penny. And by the way, by the time those 72 months are over with, that shiny penny is not too bright or not too shiny. It starts getting old looking, just like every other car. It just happens. Let's think about that for a minute. You can't avoid that. But you can avoid spending money on something you do not have. Which brings me to the final point for this time. Okay? Living beyond our means. If you have it, great. And you're living within your means, below your means, great. If you don't have it, you don't have it. That's the way I look at it for myself. I don't have it right now. I don't have it right now. That's it. It's just that simple for me. Now, for other people, I don't know. Maybe they have to exercise their frugal muscles, okay? Living beyond our means spending more than what we bring in. Let's start over. Living beyond our means spending more money than we actually bring in as an income. We have to know our numbers. But let's get back to that, knowing our numbers. If we don't know our numbers, how can we navigate this? We have to know our numbers, have to live within, or better still, below our means. Okay. Live below our means. You live below your means, you're never going to get into debt. Huh? Yes. What a nice thing to say. If you live below your means, you're not going to get into debt. I'm telling you, in my opinion, that's a great way to avoid a lot of future money mistakes. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate everybody's time. Don't forget to come back tomorrow again at 5 a.m. for a brand new upload. In fact, don't forget to come back any day of the week: Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 5 a.m. Have a great day. Super thanks. I'll forever appreciate it. Take good care of yourself and your amazing family. Thank you.